Orange Box is a young people's centre. It's somewhere where young people can come and bring their ideas and try something out, whether that's an event and a project or a piece of work that they've always wanted to do.
And it's a place that they can come and do the things that are nice to do, that they want to do. Alongside that, there's support and advice.
You know it looks so good tonight.
I think the interesting thing about it is because Square Chapel Arts Centre down the road have had such a strong involvement in the history of the project, it's taken on the characteristics of a venue as well as being a centre that's used 7 days a week, pretty much 12 hours a day now. So it's somewhere where young people can come and access services if they need some support.
I was just actually looking for some rehearsal rooms that we could rent out, or some space in the mill so we could. There just didn't seem to be anywhere for kids to rehearse. And it was then that I started talking to people, and the idea for Orange Box came out of that. The more young people I talked to, the more I realised it wasn't just like music and rehearsal rooms that they needed. There was a whole range of stuff that they needed. And eventually, it took us a couple of years, but eventually we got about £4 million. And talked to more and more young people, thousands of young people, to design what's now Orange Box.
It's essentially a music project. Probably the best person to answer this one.
It's a young people's music project it's aimed at young people aged between 13 and 19 who are already musical but wanting to meet like-minded other musicians and form bands, or either just share ideas, and it's all about peer, mentor, support basically. Right to Record, it's not private guitar tuition, for example. It's people who've already got a little bit of knowledge on an instrument. We say not from absolute beginner, but beginners to advanced, and it's to meet other young musicians, because apart from in school, where else would you meet a drummer for your thrash metal band, or a rapper to go over your spoken word ensemble?
Plenty of girls and boys in love. Plenty of girls.
We've got 4 rehearsal rooms specifically for music, and each rehearsal room's got pretty much the same setup. So we have a PA system, drum kit, we have 2 sets of amplifiers and a bass amp as well.
My role involves really trying to get ahead of where we are. It's like trying to be a bit of a time lord, I suppose. And I've really got to think ahead of where we want to be, how we're going to fund that, how do we make the business, the organisation financially secure, and make sure that it continues to be a safe and exciting place for young people.
The opportunities at Orange Box are actually amazing, to be honest. Now we've got the recording studio up and running, we're looking for young technicians to actually get involved in the recording studio. And then we've got the young artists, we've got the skate park.
I was born in a season where the world was quiet and cold. Celebrations were going on. Some were happy, some were sad. Some felt bad from being good. Some felt good from being bad. And feelings past and change, but they never leave. They here to stay. Holiday, holiday, happy birthday. Teenage love, the first cut, run deep. So long flesh, this is the Brooklyn streets. Year of the ox, 7 and 3, MD. The history. Come on. Every soul got one D. Yes. It's where you been and where you be. And without understanding, you cannot proceed complete.
I was the only one on the youth board that actually had any interest or knew people that skated. I think after asking everyone and doing different surveys and things, the skate park kept coming up, and I came up with an idea, and I had the blueprint, so I knew the size, where the exits were and things. So I just talked to all my friends and lots of young people, and they all give me ideas and things, and then I put it together, and here it is.
Saigon, he was like Bob, he was gone, let bygones be bygones. I'm gone. on, spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. Where they hug you with the firearm, child on, like new school clothes, black star.
I basically teach the Zumba classes and I get the young people in, get them having a good time, exercising, just sharing in something together.
Down considerably. We get it poppin' like a hit chorus. The flow is historic. They can't get rid of us. You pick with us, and we lay the law like a bit of...
I was looking for somewhere to do the class, and I thought, wow, this place looks really greatly refurbished. I've never seen it before. Why not just walk in, talk to somebody, and see what it's about? And I first met Madeline, the director, and we really hit it off from there. And we discussed the details of Zumba and my classes, and she said, come on. Come teach for us.
Come back in particular, even if it blended to ephemera, I wait into peripheral transmission of the minister's original will broadcast clear without the
YouthWorks is a detached youth work project which also offers drop-in provision for young people in Halifax Town Centre and one-to-one support to vulnerable young people who need that extra bit of help in their lives. Young people are just very diverse. We work with everything from people wanting to find work, people who are suffering from domestic abuse or abuse in the home, we work with people who are unemployed or substance misusers, anything really. We don't have anything we won't touch. Well, the drop-in session is pretty much what it says on the tin. We open the doors at 3:30. Young people come in and they can help themselves to a cup of tea or coffee, they can access the computers to go on the internet, and we have 2 members of staff whose job is pretty much to talk to young people and kind of get into what's going on for them and expand on those conversations really. So if someone's talking about a specific issue, then we'll use that as a tool for getting the appropriate information and advice to everybody who's present. And we just try and make it fun really.
There's a youth board here, and the youth board, are taken very seriously and they have an input into the steering group. And I'd hope that to increase the role of young people in the steering group as we go forward.
Well, with the youth board, we just do whatever comes up really. So sometimes it can be really important decisions, like doing job interviews, what people's roles are. And then sometimes it can be really light-hearted stuff like where we want to go out for tea or even, and we do some really fun stuff as well. Like I think we're planning on getting a stall at V-Fest. I think it differs because it's not just a room with a kettle. You've got bouldering walls, skate parks, recording studios, and you've got so many more opportunities here because of how modern and how upbeat it is. So it's a bit more of a cooler place to be.
I think the perception of young people in the media is quite unfair, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of bias. And again, that's, you can say that's because the media is written by older people, maybe they've just forgotten what it was like. So yeah, we want to challenge those sort of prejudices that people have about what young people are, what they're capable of.
I keep feeling smaller and smaller.
We've built this great space that we've kept quite flexible, but it's not a place that there's a stigma about going to. You could be going there to record an album, or you could be going there because you've run away from home and you haven't been anywhere to sleep and you need help with that. It's just to be a sort of welcoming place that every young person feels they can go into, whatever it is that they need.
I think that the facility is kind of the best you're going to get because they're all really modern and they've been designed by young people for young people. I mean, even just things like the decorations, like the graffiti, that's all done by young people. The facilities are really good.
I think we've only kind of scratched the surface in terms of what the building can actually offer and the potential within it.
There's a danger that people come and they just come to use a skate park, or they just come to theatre school, or they just come to do the music. And I think the really exciting thing that's going to happen is when we find ways of those groups coming together and doing things together. That's exciting, and that will definitely come. I know it will.
Orange Box in the future has got to maintain true to that ethos that any young person can go there, and it is for anybody, whatever their ability and whatever their background.
Everybody keeps coming back, and people are slowly getting happier. I've seen a lot of guards come down. All I ask is that they bring their A game, and they do every time. They're brilliant.
If you only focus on activities, you're only doing half of the job. Young people don't just turn up to places for fun. They come with a whole range of things going on in the background, and if there's nothing there to cater for that, then you're not doing them justice, really.
I can only see it growing from, we've got sort of the seeds planted, and we've got the support of sort of local organisations like Square Chapel, and we have the young people coming through the door, so it can only expand and grow.
Yeah, when I was age 13, Orange Box wasn't about. I just used to go to my local park and play on broken swings.
It's just a great building, great atmosphere, and there's always different things going on.
So in 5-10 years' time, what I want to be doing is reading about people that have achieved what they want to achieve, whether that is just having like that steady job and sort of building a happy, secure life, or whether they've become famous, and they recorded their first record at Orange Box, and now they're some big star.
I keep feeling smaller and smaller. I keep feeling smaller and smaller.
I just see it being really upbeat, especially with music, and I can just see it getting really popular and getting off the ground.
The plot, man.
Going a bit pink.
I hate being on
Going a bit orange.
Yeah, sure. I'm going orange for Orange Box. To be